Greetings, leaders, and welcome to Sitrep number 4. It's been quite some time since our previous Sitrep. 3 whole seasons came and went, and an early test build that so many of you participated in. Summer for the Ages is underway, and there are still only a few weeks remaining for you to take advantage of those discounted upgrades. We've added even more value to the rewards you collect across the game. Throughout each of these moments, one thing was abundantly clear, and that's your passion and care for our game, DomiNations. Everyone who provided feedback made sure that we were keeping your best interests at heart while we worked to shape the future of the game. We spent plenty of time compiling your comments and your concerns and creating an action plan for what our next steps would be. That all culminated in the Road Ahead post that was released at the end of June. In that post, we shared our more immediate plans to improve Event Pass rewards further and brought back the highly requested global leaderboard competition. We also made a promise to implement additional improvements to the game and asked for your continued feedback to potentially add in the future. In the 2 months since the release of our Road Ahead statement, we've worked diligently to implement some of your responses. Some examples of that include the committee's counselors are participating in are now visible right from the primary and war hall menus of the council building. An icon above the council building now appears when a council collection reward can be claimed without visiting the council building. Legendary artifacts are now available to use as soon as you build the museum. We've increased artifact storage and increased museum currency that you can receive from museum boxes. We've increased oil generation and mysterious fragment generation. We've even removed the refill requirement for your missile silo and bunkers. Improvements were made to the MRL, and hopefully that increases their viability in your army compositions. World War maps now display the levels of your foes for you to better strategize your attacks. Going forward, on day 1, you'll now find all key stats alongside each new unit, building, or counselor, including upgrade information within patch notes. Access to all speed-ups is available immediately after you construct the archive. This will help you to progress faster through the ages and experience everything that DomiNations has to offer. War tactics now only take 5 minutes to train between each battle. Maps can be cleaned up quickly with the reduced debris time. Get back to your battles faster with video retrains now available every 4 hours. Now, while we've done so much already, we know there's still plenty of work to get through. We're still taking your feedback as we continue on this path to better your play experience within DomiNations. We're still working to align the game closer to how you and future leaders participate. Be sure to check out the latest edition of The Road Ahead, released earlier this week, to learn what else is coming down the pipeline. The Road Ahead features new artifacts, new counselors, that we can't wait to introduce to you later on within Automation Age. Work on the next age to be introduced to DomiNations is currently underway. Automation Age continues your progression through the ages by introducing unit upgrades that give your armies and bases a whole new look. Current Drone Age leaders can expect to upgrade to Automation Age once they've attained level 370. After the release of Automation Age, a future update will include a brand new feature for leaders to interact with. The Manufactory will be added not just for Automation Age leaders, but for those at Industrial and beyond. This new feature will have leaders crafting munitions to add unique improvements to their troops and defensive structures. The Manufactory will generate the materials you choose for free, which will then be used in the creation process of your munitions. Materials will primarily be generated from your Manufactory, but they can also be acquired through regular play and may even be found in chests. Manufactory is going to be a massive addition to how you leverage your armies and bolster your defenses. To help go over how you'll be interacting with Manufactory, we have one of our designers, Gary, here to help us out with some of these questions we have on this new feature to the game. Gary, how are you doing?
Great, Alex. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to talk about Manufactory.
Yeah, there's a whole lot to look forward to here when it comes to Manufactory, and I'm sure players can't wait to get their hands on it. How is Manufactory going to be changing the face of our armies and how we're going to interact in battle?
So with the Manufactory, units and defensive structures, except for the missile silo, will have munition slots where you can equip munitions to them. These munitions give unique bonuses as well as the standard bonuses you've seen in Council and Museum, like health and damage. The unique munition bonuses, however, are more tailored for the units and structures that they can be assigned to. So you're going to still get that power that you get from other systems, but it's going to be more specific and tailored to the units that you like to use.
Okay, all right. So are munitions permanent, or are these going to be consumable, kind of like drone directives were on the offensive side?
Sure. So munitions are permanent, and you can swap them around as much as you'd like, basically at any time you'd like. You can salvage them and receive some of the materials back that you used to create it in the first place. But if you want to swap them between your ranged infantry and your APC in between battles, you can do that.
All right, I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to start upgrading first, you know, like
Sure.
maybe a specific unit I've been neglecting on an upgrade, or, you know, maybe something comes back to the forefront. So I'm looking forward to see what those munitions will do for those units. Time will tell, it sounds like. I'm looking forward to being able to manipulate that. All right, so there's tons of munitions that are coming into this, but how are munitions crafted? What are the how are the reagents gathered, the materials that we need?
Okay, so the process is, first off, you need to produce materials. Materials are how I consider them the tier one, the base level reagents you need to craft. So you produce those materials over time. You get to set what it's making, and you can change that at any time. After you have those materials, you're going to use them to make components. Different components require different materials. After you've created those components, then you can use them to make munitions. So each munition has, you know, varying costs for components and possibly even materials. As you upgrade them more, that cost gets higher, and it expands out to different types of components and materials you need.
That's actually really cool. So the only thing that's taking time is the collecting, and then once it's made, we equip it, it's ready to go. Will Manufactory be upgradable?
It will, yes. So after you unlock it in the industrial age, every other age after that, you'll be able to have another upgrade for it. So in the industrial age, atomic, space, information, and automation age. So 5 total levels.
What will each level of Manufactory add as we upgrade? Is that going to be more power, munitions? What's that going to do when we upgrade it?
So each level of the Manufactory adds new munition schematics, as we call them, new materials and components that will be used for those munitions. And it also, at level 5, so the max level, unlocks 2 additional material and component slots, which allows you to produce twice as much stuff at any one time.
What are some munition types you're really excited for, though? Like, do you have a favorite one that you can talk about yet?
Okay, so I would really love to sit here and talk about them, but they're a work in development. Essentially, you know, we're going to have the buffs that you've seen before: health, damage, attack, speed. But we have really cool, unique buffs that we've never done in DomiNations, and I would love to sit here and talk about them, but it's still a work in progress. What I can say, however, is that they're very fun, and they're definitely going to change the way you play the game, both on offense and defense.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to get my hands on it here. And one last question here, because I'm sorry, Manufactory is available at industrial age to start out? What are some differences I can expect as we start aging up with Manufactory and leveling up? Is there any difference there, or just, I mean, I get to get my hands on this early?
Usually what we do with new buildings is we release them alongside new ages. But this time we wanted to give players who are not at that final age, you know, on the brink of automation age, we want to give them a chance to play with this cool new feature. We figured, why not? There's no reason to lock them out. So if you're an industrial age player or somewhere in the middle, you can build a Manufactory, and you can do all the same stuff as, let's say, automation age players. You'll have less munition schematics overall, but you still have plenty to make for your units, your defensive structures. You can totally outfit them, get a huge amount of power, and then when you do go up in those ages, maybe you find more munitions that you like, and you get rid of your old ones and get the new ones.
Wow, so that's been a ton of great information. Thank you so much, Gary, for hanging out with us today on Sitrep number 4 and giving us a little bit more insight to the Manufactory.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Anytime. I'm excited to see it and Automation Age get out and live and see what players think.
All right, looking forward to it as well. Thank you so much, Gary, once again. We'll be going in depth to cover this free-to-play feature as it gets closer to release in a post on the forum, so stay tuned for that later this year. We covered quite a bit today in our latest edition of Sitrep. Tons of quality of life improvements were implemented over the summer in DomiNations. Our latest Road Ahead post is now live. We'll continue to update you in future posts covering even more improvements to be added. Automation Age is on the way with new levels and updated looks for units. We also took an early look at the Manufactory, bringing another layer of customization to your battles. We can't wait for you to take part in what lies ahead for DomiNations. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time, leaders.